it's just so proud to see. I mean, we have black and brown and white people and just all kinds because that's what it's going to take. Just not no one certain thing, but it's going to take a variety of things. And I just want to tell everybody today the Amazon workers are doing something great right now. That they're going to allow their light to shine across the world to show evidence that this thing can be done anywhere, which allowing a lot of other people to see that we're going through the same things. And if the people in Bessemer can do it, then we can do it, then other people can do it. I mean, it's just a thing to show care for someone. I mean, we're out here doing something that's bigger than us. We're out here showing that I mean, I don't work at Amazon, but I'm here to help some people from Amazon because they cried out for help. And they wanted to see, I mean, it's amazing that they wanted to see some people that care for them. And all we here to do is to amplify the voice that they already been crying out with. We're not here to take over anything, but to allow them to have a seat at the table to be heard. We're not being heard right now. I'm tired of being in the background and no one's paying attention to me. I'm tired of crying out and no one's listening to me. I'm tired of seeing people in poverty and only a certain group of people are steady getting richer. That's not the way the world is supposed to be. That's not the America that I heard about. That is not the dream that I heard about growing up. I'm tired of seeing people who's waking up in the middle of the night trying to decide whether they're going to pay light bill or rent. That's not fair. We're not working just to make it. We all want to have something to have in the summertime to go on a vacation. I mean, to Florida. I'm not talking about nowhere just out of the way, but just somewhere simple, right down the street. But we're not able to do that, and they wonder why poverty levels are so high right now. They wonder why crime rate is so high right now, because we're working 2 jobs. There's nobody at home to get a kid's directions right now, because we're trying to keep a roof over their head, food in the refrigerator. But it seems like nobody cares. And the Amazon worker looking at us, the RWDSU, outside of that gate, if it's drizzling, raining, if it's freezing cold outside, 20 degrees, me and my fellas been out there shaking a lot of nights out there, a lot of mornings, but to show them that we care and that we're not going nowhere. It's been blistering hot outside, but it doesn't matter because people arrive by and say, why y'all are out here in the freezing cold? And I look at them and tell them, for you, for us, for America, because we're just not going to accept this anymore. No, we're not going to accept anything that you give us anymore. Because, see, we have woke up and we understand what it means to have better, to want more. God says sky's the limit. So why am I settling for less? Why am I allowing billionaires to tell me that $15 an hour is enough? These people are rich. And they want to come here and tell us that $15 an hour is enough? Shame on them. Shame on them. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me at all. They don't understand that they came to an area that one of the most poverty areas in Alabama. One of the Amazon is majority black. Bessemer is majority black, but what they did not encounter on is a group of people coming together. They did not encounter that this is a new day in time. And ain't no way we settling for you to run over us no more. No more, no sir. No sir, so we gonna get a seat at the table, do you hear me? And allow our voices to be heard. And we gonna stand tall and we gonna talk loud to make sure you hear what we're saying. There's no more overworking us for little pennies. There's no more of doing that. There's no more of telling me that I got to be worried about TOT time. There's no more of that. It's time out for them. So what I want everybody to know is that if we keep coming together as a unity, it's something special that can happen. Every time I have read a story in the Bible, when people have came together on one accord, amazing things happen. Right now, it's some amazing things that are happening right here in this parking lot, just by all of y'all standing together and being together right now. It's something amazing going on right now. Even the people who may not have the courage to come out is looking from afar, building confidence in themselves, saying that I got to join this fight, because we can't keep complaining about what if. After you complain, we got to do something about this. We got to stop marching all the time and come up with a plan and work with one another. That's the only way this dream is going to work. Martin Luther King been trying to have this dream come alive for ages. It's our turn to pave the way for the next generation that's coming up. It's our turn. And right now, I'm going to do the best that I can. I don't know about you. Because it's not time for us to get ready. It's time for us to be ready and get on this field and get to fighting. Amen? All right now. My next speaker I'm going to bring up is an Amazon worker. Her name is Linda Burns. And she can tell you better than I can what she's going on and what she's going through in that facility. So right now, y'all give a hand to Linda Burns.
Everybody, my name is Linda, and I'm here to talk about Amazon. In case all those good packages, I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit what we went through to get y'all all those packages. For one, when this union come in, that frown is gonna be a smile. Everybody is gonna smile now. We're gonna stop crying, we're gonna stop worrying, we're gonna stop doing all of that. Because we are Amazon. Bezos, he's just the CEO. But in all, we are Amazon. Okay, so when we try to get y'all package, guess what? We can't use the bathroom. Pretty much, we cannot. They want to give us time on task. Time on task is you have, mind you, Amazon is a big plant, big, about the size of a football field. They want us to go to the bathroom and come back to the machine in 5 minutes. No way. No way. It's going to take you 5 minutes to get to the bathroom. You got to use it. And then you got to get back to your station. They want us to pick up, with one hand, pick up 1,000 pieces or more in 1 hour. You got 5 seconds to pick that package up, scan it, put it in another tote, and let it go. Guess what? If you don't, it's a message across your screen, pretty much asking you, what are you doing? Okay. What are you doing? I'm waiting. We have a light that you cut on to signify, to notify somebody that they got a machine to, if a light come on, they know exactly where it's at. They supposed to come and relieve you, but they do not. So guess what? Is you gonna stand up there? Is you gonna use it on yourself, or are you gonna use your head and go to the bathroom? If you go to that bathroom and you come back, it can be 15 minutes. HR wanna talk to you. They're gonna ask you what you did in 15 minutes. What took you so long? What are you doing? I went to the bathroom. Nobody relieved me. They don't wanna hear that. Okay? We got breaks. We only get 2 breaks in 10 hours. People work 12 hours. They'll get 2.5 breaks. It's gonna take you 5 minutes. Lunch break is unpaid. You gotta clock out. You gotta take 5 minutes to get to the lunchroom, 5 minutes to heat up your food if it's other people in there. And then you got 10 minutes to eat, and then you gotta go back to your station. So you didn't get 30 minutes. Okay? I have a second job. I had to get a second job. They're taking out 2 Bessemer tax, Birmingham tax. They're taking out insurance. They're taking out stocks. They're taking out all that stuff. When they get through, guess what? I may have $300. $300 is not enough to live on. We all know that. I had to get a second job. I'm in nursing school, and I work at Amazon. So that's 2 jobs, and I'm in school, and I'm doing that.
All right, Linda. All right.
I'm tired, but I'm going to keep pushing. I'm not giving up. I was supposed to quit Amazon January. They discouraged me. But I said, no, I'm going to stand and I'm going to fight. We need better insurance. They said we got quote unquote good insurance. I'm still getting bills in the mail off of y'all good insurance that you have. I have an injury now. I'm still paying out of pocket from y'all good insurance. I'm tired, but I'm not tired. And I'm going to fight for my rights, for our rights, for my employees. I'm fighting for all of us. I want America to know we all in this together. We're not alone. And I thank God for all the support and help that we are getting, because we need it, because we cannot fight Bezos by ourselves. And I'm ready for whatever. Thank you.
We with you, Linda. It was the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember. Yes, I will. 'Cause that was the day that my daddy died. I never got a chance to see him. Never heard nothing but bad things about him. Mama, I'm depending on you. Tell me the truth. Mama just hung her head and said, son, Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. Papa was a rolling stone, my son, yeah. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. Hey, Mama, is it true what they say that Papa never worked a day in his life?
And Mama, some bad talk going around town saying that Papa had 3 outside children and another wife. And that ain't right.
Heard some talk about Papa doing some storefront preaching, talking about saving souls and all the time leeching, dealing in that and stealing in the name of the Lord. Mama just hung her head and said, Papa was a rolling stone, my son. Wherever he lay
I don't know if I can do a better job at chanting than that. That's damn good. Hi, my name is Michael Render. I'm professionally known as Killer Mike, absolutely. I am from a family that's out of Tuskegee, Alabama. We're the Blackmans and we're the Mackeys. And I'd just like to say that as proud as I am to be a part of the legacy of Alabama and being a part of the family, I'm deeply ashamed of what this company is doing to Alabamians. I'm ashamed that we still live in a country where we celebrate someone, and I qualify, I'm what they call in the South Negro rich. I got enough money to last me my lifetime. I'm gonna try to have some left over for my kids, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun while I'm here. Jeff Bezos is beyond white folks rich. Jeff Bezos is what they called in the old South the planter class. And what was the planter class? The planter class was the class of people who could afford to own plantations, and then they would use people that they had labeled as poor white people who were living this gypsy lives, going through the South working. They came up with a name for those poor white folks. They called them crackers. And they decided to distinguish those poor white people from the planter class, and they used them in the fields. And there was another people that they had brought over from Africa that they called niggers. And they worked both of these classes of peoples relentlessly in drudging heat in the South for the profit of the planter class. That planter class became enormously wealthy. They did trade that enriched not only the South and the Confederacy, but before and after that, this Union. So this country was built, as the Vice President of the Confederacy said, on the cornerstone of not only slavery, which he indicated, but an indentured servitude and a suppressive workplace that kept poor people poor by keeping them separated, keeping them humiliated, and keeping them down. Now, 120 years later, here I stand, a product of the legacy of Alabama, a product of a woman who grew up a sharecropper, my grandmother, later went on to become a nurse and start a family in Atlanta, and the exact conditions that she described to me when working on a field in Tuskegee, Alabama, unrelenting heat, the inability to go use the bathroom or to go use the lavatory in a decent time and come back and have a full day's work accounted to you. All these things that a woman who worked in a sharecropping field told me are being said by workers here today. Michael, it is unrelentingly hot. We do not have access to air conditioning. If we get into work 1 minute late, they take an hour of our time off. And in that room is not just people who look like me. In that room is not just people who are black or brown or melanated. In that room is the diaspora that is Alabama. It is the tapestry that is America. It is black, white, woman, man, every other race and ethnic group. And we should be ashamed of ourselves for allowing companies to come in and pillage our people. We should be ashamed of ourselves for allowing our need and want for a package to get there in 2 days to cause a woman with an injured arm to be told by a company, no matter your injury, you can exercise it off. So just think about when your child hurt themselves on a football field or a basketball field. Just think about the asshole coach that says walk it off. Think about being promised better insurance when you come to work for a company, and at the end of the better insurance, you go to the doctor and you still get a bill. Think about a woman having a heart attack and falling out behind you because she's so hot and tired. Think about people that saying it takes me 10 minutes to walk to my car after work. The richest man in the world can't even give us golf carts. We have to walk to our car, and then we sit in our car, and we're so fatigued and we're so tired that we just sit there. Think about an environment where you walk out to the latest rap song because they tell you that's hip. They might play some Cardi B, might play some Run the Jewels, might play some New Lil Baby, as they've worked you like a slave. They might leave a sugary snack out for you to boost your metabolism enough to get through packing packages every 9 seconds. I can't pick my nose in 9 seconds. And you expected people to pick us something in 9 seconds because we simply need it. So I'm going to tell everyone that works here, I'm going to say absolutely you should vote yes for that union. Because what the union does What the union does is give you an organized seat at the table. It allows you to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. It allows you to say that pay in Alabama should be more than $16 in a warehouse. There's no way we should be seeing below $20. Don't tell me you want to make an economic investment in my community and then you come pay me fast food wages. You don't want an economic investment. You want to use me like an indentured servant to enrich the richest man in the world. Now, I've heard stories about other rich men. That was a rich man in Africa. His name was Mansa Musa. He had a kingdom called Mali. He was so rich when he took his pilgrimage to Mecca, he gave away gold all along. Messed up the world trade for about 7-8 years. But that is the heart of a truly rich man. The heart of a man who's worth $150 billion, who will not provide air conditioning, who will not provide an hour paid break, who penalizes people for being a minute late, that is an evil, evil heart. That is a heart filled with greed and contempt for the worker. So on the behalf of the worker, I'm going to surpass their vote because I want their vote to go through. But if it doesn't, I won't be ordering from Amazon again. If that vote does not go through, if these conditions do not improve, then I'll just be walking on out to the store with my mask on. But what I won't do is by being a customer, enable the richest man and the fastest growing company to use slave labor any longer. These people have been treated as badly as my grandmother when she sharecropped in this same state. These people have been denied the basic laboratory rights that you would allow any child going to school in an 8-hour day. These people, in the name of the convenience of shit getting dropped at our door, are being used and abused as though they're tools and their life can be thrown away because it's peak season. So what I'm going to tell the public, past the union, past Mr. Bezos, is if they won't treat their people right, who are we if we stand on the side of evil just to get a package to our door 2 days? So I want people after today to take a firm look in the mirror and look at your fellow statespeople, look at your fellow Americans, and I want you to say this to yourself. Them having a master, good or evil, is not worth me getting a package in 2 days at my door. I'm just going to bet a plan and order 2 weeks earlier. But what I'm no longer going to do is support any evil because it's more convenient for me at the expense of these beautiful, wonderful, working their ass off people here in Bessemer, Alabama. I want to tell you, I love you. I want to tell you I respect you. And I'm going to digress right now because there's a great person in our midst. He has been working on this protracted struggle on the behalf of the workers long before I arrived on earth. And I'll be working on this long after he leaves us. And hopefully that's no time soon. I'd like to introduce you guys to Senator from Vermont. Should have been our president and hopefully will be. Senator Bernard Sanders. Please come up and speak to the people today, Sanders.
Let me begin by telling you that it is a real honor to be with you today, and I mean that sincerely, because what you are doing requires an enormous amount of courage. And what you're doing is not only for yourselves and your kids and your families. What you are doing is for workers all across this country. Because we're living in a nation, as all of you know, where the very, very rich are becoming much richer, while half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck and millions are working for starvation wages. And you here in Bessemer, Alabama, you're prepared to stand up and to say that every worker in this country deserves to have decent wages, decent working conditions, decent benefits, and to be treated with dignity, not as a robot. And when you stand up and fight You are taking on here not only one of the most powerful corporations in this country, you are taking on the wealthiest individual in the world, and you're doing it in an anti-union state. So what you're doing requires courage, and from the bottom of my heart, I salute you. And today I say to Jeff Bezos, who is worth $180 billion, not million, billion, a man who has made tens of billions of dollars in the last year during this pandemic. And what I say to Mr. Bezos, why, when you have so much money, more money that can be spent in 1,000,000 lifetimes, why are you spending millions trying to defeat an effort on the part of workers here who want nothing more than decent wages, decent benefits, decent working conditions? Now, the reason that Amazon is putting so much energy to try to defeat you is they know that if you succeed here, it will spread all over this country. Because they know that it is not only workers here who are sick and tired of these outrageous working conditions, and I just had a few minutes to chat with some of you about the heat that you have to work under, the 12-hour day, 12 hours work schedules that you have. The fact that when you get a 30-minute break, it takes you 10 minutes to get to the break station and 10 minutes back. I don't know how people digest the meal in 10 minutes. And it is time for you to be able to sit down and negotiate better working conditions. Union is not going to solve it all. But what it does do is allow you a seat at the table. When you go against one of the largest corporations of the world and you do it alone, you have no power. But when you stand together in solidarity with each other, you can negotiate for a better workday. So this struggle takes place at a moment when so many of our brothers and sisters all over this country are hurting. And they are sick and tired of the greed that is so rampant in the corporate class. Enough really is enough. How much money do the richest people in this country require? How much in profits do the largest corporations really need? So what today is about is to say to this powerful, large, profitable corporations, treat your workers with respect and with dignity. And we're not dealing with a mom and pop operation here. We're dealing with $1 trillion corporation that makes huge profits that can certainly provide the kind of wages and benefits that working people desperately need. So let me conclude by reminding you of the role that unions have played historically in this country. Over 100 years ago, there were children in Alabama and in Vermont who were working in factories and working in the fields. But working people stood up and said, no, that's wrong. We want kids in schools and not in factories and in fields. Years ago, people worked 50, 60, 70 hours a week with no benefits, and workers came together and demanded that they be treated with respect and dignity, and they formed unions. If history teaches us anything, is that big money interests do not give you anything. You got to stand up and fight for it. And in this, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, dealing with the wealthiest individual in the world, there is no excuse for workers at Amazon not to have good wages, good benefits, and good working conditions. And if you pull this off here, Birmingham, Alabama, if you pull this off here, believe me, workers all over this country are going to be saying, if these people in Alabama could take on the wealthiest guy in the world, we can do it as well. And what we know is if we are interested in expanding a middle class which has been shrinking for decades, the only way to do it is to grow the union movement, and you are in the forefront of that struggle. So I say to you, you may not know it or not, but what you're doing is historical. Historical. Because all over this country, people are sick and tired of being exploited, sick and tired of not having the dignity that they deserve. And your message to people all over this country is stand up and fight back. You're going to do it here. We can do it all over this country. We can grow the middle class. We can make sure that all of our working people can live with the respect and dignity that they deserve. This country belongs to all of us, not just a handful of billionaires. So I thank you very much for allowing me to say a few words to you. I thank my good friend Killer Mike for being with you. Let's go forward together. Let's win this thing. And I say to the workers out there who have not yet voted, get those ballots in right now. Right now. Let's win this thing. Let's make history. Thank you all very much.